Hey there, foodies! Welcome to my kitchen, where we're turning back the clock to the fabulous 1950s. Get ready for some comfort food classics that'll have you saying yum-o. We're talking creamy casseroles, jiggly Jell-O salads, and upside-down cakes that are as pretty as a picture. So tie on those aprons, grab your spatulas, and let's get cooking some totally retro eats. We're gonna start with a dish that screams comfort food, Tuna Noodle Casserole. Then we'll whip up a vibrant Jell-O salad that's bursting with fruity flavor. And for dessert, we're going all out with a show-stopping pineapple upside-down cake. It's the perfect way to end our trip down memory lane. Are you ready to get groovy in the kitchen? Let's do this! All right, food fans, let's kick things off with a dish that's as classic as a poodle skirt and saddle shoes. Tuna Noodle Casserole. This dish is a true icon of mid-century American cuisine, a time when convenience and comfort were the kings of the kitchen. This dish was a staple in the 1950s, and for good reason. It was a go-to for busy housewives who needed to get a hearty meal on the table quickly. It's easy to make, budget-friendly, and oh so satisfying. Plus, it was a great way to use up pantry staples and leftovers. We're talking creamy, cheesy goodness with tender noodles and flaky tuna. The combination of flavors and textures is simply irresistible. It's the kind of meal that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, like a trip back to Grandma's kitchen. You can almost hear the sound of a vinyl record playing in the background. Now, some folks might call this a humble dish, but don't let its simplicity fool you. I'm here to tell you, there's nothing humble about a casserole that brings this much joy. It's a dish that has stood the test of time for a reason. So grab your ingredients and let's get this casserole cooking. You'll need egg noodles, canned tuna, cream of mushroom soup, milk, cheddar cheese, and a few optional extras. First things first, we gotta get those noodles cooking. This is the base of our casserole, so we want to get it just right. Grab a large pot, fill it with water, and bring it to a boil. This is where the magic begins. Add a pinch of salt. That's our little secret for tastier noodles. It helps to enhance the flavor of the pasta. Then add your egg noodles and cook them according to the package directions. Make sure to stir occasionally to prevent them from sticking. You want them to be al dente, which means they should still have a little bite to them. This will ensure they hold up well in the casserole. No one wants mushy noodles in their casserole. Once they're done, drain them and set them aside. While those noodles are doing their thing, let's move on to the star of the show, the creamy tuna filling. This is where all the flavor comes together. Now for the heart of our casserole, the creamy tuna filling. This mixture is what gives the dish its signature taste and texture. In a large bowl, combine a can of cream of mushroom soup, the secret weapon of 1950s cooks everywhere, with a can of drained tuna, a splash of milk, and a generous handful of shredded cheddar cheese. This combination is pure comfort food. Give it a good stir until everything is combined and super creamy. You want a smooth, luscious mixture that will coat every noodle. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, you can add some chopped celery or peas for extra flavor and texture. These veggies add a nice crunch and a pop of color. Our noodles are cooked, our filling is ready. It's casserole assembly time. This is where it all comes together. Drain those noodles and add them right into the bowl with our creamy tuna mixture. Make sure to get every last noodle in there. Gently fold everything together until the noodles are coated in that cheesy goodness. You want an even distribution of noodles and filling. Now pour the whole shebang into a greased casserole dish. Make sure to spread it out evenly. And here's where the fun begins. The topping. This is what gives the casserole its delightful crunch. In the 1950s, crushed potato chips were all the rage for casserole toppings. We're almost there, folks. This topping adds a wonderful texture contrast. Sprinkle those crushed potato chips or breadcrumbs if you prefer over the top of the casserole. This will create a beautiful golden brown crust as it bakes. This is going to create a beautiful golden brown crust as it bakes. The topping is what takes this dish to the next level. Pop that casserole dish into a preheated 375-degree oven and bake for about 25 minutes or until it's bubbly and heated through. The aroma will fill your kitchen with nostalgia. And there you have it, a delicious, comforting tuna noodle casserole that will transport you back to the 1950s with every bite. A taste of 1950s nostalgia. Enjoy this classic dish with your loved ones and create new memories around the dinner table. All right, folks, get ready for a blast from the past with a dish that was practically a celebrity at every 1950s potluck Jell-O salad. This iconic dish was more than just a dessert. It was a centerpiece, a conversation starter, and a symbol of culinary creativity in the mid-20th century. This jiggly, fruity concoction was a must-have on dinner tables across America. It wasn't just about the taste. It was about the presentation, the colors, and the fun of seeing it wobble as it was served. And let me tell you, there's a reason why it was so popular. Families gathered around the table, eagerly anticipating that first spoonful of fruity, gelatinous goodness. It's easy to make, it's budget-friendly, and you can get as creative as you like with the flavors and add-ins. Whether you were a novice cook or a seasoned chef, Jell-O salad was a go-to recipe. The star of our show today is gelatin, that magical ingredient that transforms ordinary liquids into wobbly wonders. Gelatin was a kitchen staple, and its versatility made it a favorite among home cooks. Back in the 1950s, flavored gelatin was all the rage, and they had some pretty wild flavors. Let me tell ya, from classic fruit flavors to more adventurous options, there was something for everyone. But we're gonna keep it classic today with either cherry or lime. These flavors were household favorites and brought a vibrant color to the dish. Pour your chosen flavor into a bowl and add boiling water, whisking until the gelatin is completely dissolved. This step is crucial to ensure a smooth, lump-free mixture. Now for the fun part, adding the fruit. This is where you can really let your creativity shine. Back in the day, canned fruit cocktail was a staple in Jell-O salads. It was convenient, affordable, and added a delightful mix of textures and flavors. But hey, we're all about fresh ingredients here, so feel free to use whatever fruit you like. Fresh fruit not only enhances the flavor, but also adds a touch of modernity to this retro dish. Chopped strawberries, mandarin oranges, pineapple chunks. Let your imagination run wild. The more colorful, the better. Gently fold the fruit into the gelatin mixture, making sure it's evenly distributed. This ensures that every bite is packed with fruity goodness. Okay, here's where things get really interesting. We're about to add a unique twist that truly defines the 1950s Jell-O salad. To give our Jell-O salad that classic 1950s touch, we're gonna add a dollop of, wait for it, mayonnaise or cream cheese. This might sound unusual, but it was a common practice back then. I know it might sound a little strange, but trust me on this one. The addition of mayonnaise or cream cheese adds a creamy texture that balances the sweetness of the gelatin. It adds a creamy richness that takes this salad to a whole new level. It's a flavor combination that might surprise you in the best way possible. Now it's time to work our magic. Pour the Jell-O mixture into a mold, making sure it's evenly spread. Pour the Jell-O mixture into a pretty mold. They had some really fancy ones back in the day, and pop it into the refrigerator to set. The mold shapes added an extra layer of fun and elegance to the dish. This usually takes about 4 hours, or until the Jell-O is firm. Patience is key here, but the wait is definitely worth it. Once it's ready, carefully dip the mold into warm water for a few seconds to loosen the Jell-O, then invert it onto a serving plate. This step ensures a smooth release and a perfect presentation. And there you have it, a Jell-O salad fit for a 1950s queen. This dish is not just a treat for the taste buds, but also a delightful trip down memory lane. All right, food lovers, get ready for a blast from the past with this retro classic pineapple upside-down cake. This dish was all the rage in the 1950s, gracing tables for everything from potlucks to fancy dinner parties. And for good reason. It's sweet, tangy, and oh so pretty. The perfect combination of flavors and aesthetics that makes it a showstopper at any gathering. Just like our previous recipes, we're gonna whip this up nice and easy. No need to stress, this is a fun and straightforward recipe. Now this recipe calls for canned pineapple slices, which were a staple in many 1950s kitchens, but feel free to use fresh pineapple if you're feeling adventurous. Fresh pineapple can add an extra burst of flavor and a bit of a modern twist to this classic recipe. Just make sure to cut them nice and evenly so they cook evenly in the oven. Consistency is key to achieving that perfect texture. We're also going to use some bright red maraschino cherries. These little gems add a pop of color and a sweet, slightly tart flavor. Because let's be honest, they just scream retro. Plus, they make the cake look so festive and inviting. But hey, if cherries aren't your thing, you can swap them out for another type of fruit, or even just leave them out altogether. The beauty of this recipe is its flexibility. The key to this cake is the caramelized topping. This is what gives the cake its signature look and flavor. We're going to melt some butter in our cake pan, which will form the base of our caramelized topping. Then sprinkle it with brown sugar. The brown sugar will melt and combine with the butter to create a rich, gooey sauce. That's going to create a rich, gooey sauce that will soak into the pineapple and cake as it bakes. This is what makes the cake so moist and flavorful. Trust me, it's going to be delicious. All right, let's get started. This is where the fun begins. Grab your ingredients, put on your aprons, and let's get baking. This is a great recipe to make with family or friends. Remember, cooking should be fun, so relax, enjoy the process, and don't be afraid to get a little messy in the kitchen. The best memories are made when you're having fun. After all, the best part of baking is licking the spoon, right? It's those little moments that make baking so special. First things first, we need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This ensures that our cake bakes evenly. While that's heating up, let's get our cake pan ready. Preparation is key to a smooth baking process. We're looking for a 9-inch round cake pan, which is the perfect size for this recipe. But you can use a square pan if that's all you have on hand. Just make sure to adjust your baking time accordingly. A square pan might require a few extra minutes in the oven. Now let's grab our butter. Butter is a crucial ingredient in this recipe. We're going to need about half a stick or 4 tablespoons. Make sure it's at room temperature for easy melting. Melt that butter in the microwave or on the stovetop over low heat. Be careful not to burn it. Once it's melted, pour it into your cake pan and use a pastry brush or the back of a spoon to spread it evenly over the bottom of the pan. This ensures an even caramelized topping. Next, sprinkle that melted butter with half a cup of packed light brown sugar. The brown sugar will melt and create a delicious caramel layer. Spread the sugar out evenly over the butter. This will ensure that every bite of cake has that delicious caramel flavor. This is going to be the base of our caramelized topping. It's what makes this cake so special. See, I told you it was easy. Baking should be enjoyable, not stressful. Now here comes the fun part. This is where you can get creative. Arrange your pineapple slices over the brown sugar mixture. You can create any pattern you like. You can get creative here and arrange them in a spiral pattern or any design that you find appealing, or just place them randomly around the pan. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Don't forget to tuck those maraschino cherries in between the pineapple slices for a pop of color and flavor. They add a festive touch to the cake. With our pineapple and cherries all nestled in their sugary bed, it's time to whip up our cake batter. This is where the magic happens. It's time to whip up our cake batter. This is the foundation of our delicious cake. Now, you can use your favorite vanilla cake recipe from scratch, which will give you a truly homemade taste. Or if you're short on time like yours truly, a good quality boxed cake mix works wonders. It's a great time saver. If you're going the boxed route, just follow the instructions on the back of the box. It's simple and convenient. Usually you'll need to add eggs, oil, and water. These are the basic ingredients for most cake mixes. But remember, we're going for that classic 1950s flavor, so we want to add a little extra something. So I like to add a little something extra. A touch of vanilla extract can make a big difference. A teaspoon of vanilla extract will really amp up that vanilla flavor and give it that homemade taste. It's a small addition that makes a big impact. Once you've got your batter mixed up, make sure it's smooth and well combined. Give it a taste test. This is your chance to make any adjustments before baking. Not that you need an excuse to eat cake batter, but this is a good way to make sure it's not too sweet or too bland. It's all about balance. You can always add a pinch of salt to balance out the sweetness if needed. A little salt can enhance the flavors. Now, slowly pour the batter over the pineapple and cherry mixture in your cake pan. Be gentle to avoid disturbing the fruit arrangement. Use a spatula to spread it evenly and make sure all the fruit is covered. This ensures an even bake. Don't worry if some of the fruit peeks through. That's totally fine. It adds to the charm of the cake. All right, our cake is prepped and ready for the oven. This is the exciting part. Pop that pan into your preheated oven and bake for about 35 to 40 minutes. The aroma will fill your kitchen with a delightful scent. Now, every oven is different, so start checking your cake around the 30-minute mark. You don't want to overbake it. To check for doneness, insert a toothpick or cake tester. Well, there you have it, folks. 3 classic 1950s recipes that are sure to transport you back in time. From the comforting warmth of tuna noodle casserole to the refreshing zing of Jell-O salad and the sweet indulgence of pineapple upside-down cake, These dishes are a testament to the simplicity and charm of 1950s cuisine. These recipes aren't just about the food, they're about capturing the spirit of an era, a time of comfort, creativity, and family togetherness. So gather your loved ones, put on your aprons, and get cooking. You might just start a new family tradition. So tell me, which recipe are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more delicious retro adventures. Next time, we'll be diving into the glamorous world of retro cocktails and party appetizers. Until then, happy cooking. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.